founded Small World Adventures 17 years ago. I came here alone. I had been down paddling in Chile and guiding in Chile, and then came here to do some rivers, and there weren't any other kayakers here. I started just coming down here each year, running more and more rivers. I think I went 6 or 7 years before I saw another boater on the river that wasn't with myself or our group.
Larry started running trips down here, commercial kayaking trips, before anybody else did. Larry is largely responsible for kayaking in Ecuador.
Yeah, rivers have been my life for 2/3 of my life, 35 years, I guess now. The reason I paddle is I'm not very good at video games. No, it suits me. There's something about being on the river. I'm more at home on the river than I am on land, I think. I'm just more comfortable there. We are still Small World Adventures. We're not Large World Adventures, but I founded Small World Adventures 17 years ago, and I still come down every year for 5 months to Ecuador, and I guide virtually every week. I love it. It's what we do. Just take people down the river, show them the best Ecuador has. When you come down to Ecuador on a Small World trip, you can be sure that we've got the logistics figured out, and good vans, an incredible place to stay. Guides, Don, Darcy, and I, and the rest of our guides we've been here a long time. We know what's going on.
My whitewater career, I would say, has been almost 100% accidental. The way that I got into it, the path that led me here to Ecuador, but it has been a great thing for my life. Never had thought of Ecuador as a place to visit before, but I just sort of went along for the ride and was here at the right time. They were looking for another guide. And I was being a carpenter in Montana in the wintertime. And so when Larry said, "Darcy, we want to offer you a job, go home, take your time, think about it," I just interrupted him to say, "Larry, I don't need to think about it." I said, "I'm making $8 an hour to hang siding in Montana in the middle of winter. I will be there, just tell me when." After getting the job here, I would say I made the conscious decision to dedicate most of my life to kayaking.
kayaking fits for me. I'm better at kayaking than I am at most things. Better kayaker than I am at walking. It's like when I get in a kayak, it feels right. Like, why do you kayak all the time? I said, kayaking is my life. And he kind of elbowed me and says, it's a jerk thing to say. It's like, oh, but it is. Yes. I do it for fun, I do it for work, I do it all the time.
Why?
Because it's fun. What's wrong with just fun? I've been paddling in Ecuador for 15 years with Small World, and the areas we boat are these great drainages where the Andes kind of have gotten, they're not crazy steep anymore, but they're starting to slope out a bit. It's right before it kind of gets flat and be the Amazon basin. There's just kind of this magic gradient area where the rivers are big enough, the rain's been big enough, it's still steep and great. Right before it pops out to the flats is where we're boating. Beginner to expert, play boater to gnarly expedition boater. Yeah, there really is something for everybody. Definitely the biggest kayaking fleet in Ecuador. We have over 60 boats down here. Been in the country for 19 years, guiding for 17, so intimate knowledge of the rivers. I'd say every week we have a guest say, that's the best river I've done in my entire life. That probably happens around Monday or Tuesday. And come the end of the week, they're saying, I'm not sure which of those trips, or which of those days of boating was the best river of my entire life. We normally have a contest between 3 or 4 rivers that were the best ever.